Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another night of free enterprise.
Hey, Free Enterprise fans, we do have a pretty cool Week 1 race here tonight between nightdew and DarkKobold. A little bit of an old hand at the game versus a new hand at the game. DarkKobold really got running during the Hummingway Open this past fall. Nightdew is one of the old school crew from all the way back last March, but they've each completed, according to Flurry's stats site, a combined total of about 180 or so races. So uh, both have a lot of practice, and we'll see how it comes into play tonight.
Yes, I am definitely looking forward to this match. Two great runners. We get to see what they pull out for us tonight.
Oh, yeah. And just a reminder, everyone, our team in the booth tonight, we do have Moonblaze Wolf handling the restream. We've got Jofus Manho tackling the tracking, and then Alicel and me, Invenerable, are here for your commentary. So hopefully we'll have a good match. That is a Porum start. Allie, how do you feel about Porum these days?
In a pinch, she's definitely a white mage, but not who I would want to start with, especially if you don't have somebody strong to go with her.
Yeah, that is true. She's not going to be dishing out tons of damage at the start. White mages, always welcome in the long run, especially now with Bacchus wine costing even more money, illusions costing so much money. And she does learn Bursk a little faster than Rosa does. But low HP, low damage. Hopefully our racers will get someone good to pair off with her right out the gate here.
You see, here I'm hoping for misery for our runners tonight.
I guess I'm just in a good mood, you know. Nightdew commentated my match last night against Demarine, and, you know, things went pretty well that match, so maybe I feel like these two could use a little love in return.
Well, true, it is Valentine's Day, and happy Valentine's to all of our racers, runners, and to our chat.
Oh, yeah. We are all in a beautiful, loving relationship with Free Enterprise, even when we get Porum starts, even when maybe we get a Dark Knight to go with her or something. But yeah, you're all here because you love this game, or you're looking to learn more about it, and these racers should give us a good insight on what to do when you don't have that power team out the gate. There are some good options out there. We could hunt down an Elven Bow. A Power Staff's really nice for giving her high accuracy and a strength bonus. And notably, there are often vampires in overworld shops, which would also let Porum clean house in the early overworld. I'm looking forward to seeing their routing. But who are we starting with here, Allie?
We are starting with a twins team. Looks like we have a Palom and a Magma Key start.
Ooh, that is cheeky. So immediately we could go from not having too much power to having a pretty decent thing. Just being able to cast Twin Magic out the gate before you even learn a Tier 2 spell is super handy. And that Magma Key, ooh, if we can find Sirens for selling, if we can find even one Siren and one Coffin, Palom will tear his way through everything in the overworld. But what objectives do we have to contend with? It's the full gauntlet, 5 random objectives, Guiding Way's about to list them off for us. Let's see what we're dealing with tonight.
Tonight we have required music. Anything else is just extra.
That's true. We don't really. All we care is that Cave Magnus is required. Nothing else matters. Okay, there is something cheeky in there. 2 cheeky things. One, Moon's not required. All these are completable on Earth, unless one of our key items is gated by the Moon. But we start with a Magma Key, and we have to launch the Falcon. So you may get to go underground now, but you're taking that hook path at some point. Like you said, though, the fans should all be extra excited. Cave Magnus, completely required. We are getting Twin Heart plus an Encore today. I'm very excited that our restreamer rolled that as part of the seed.
Well, and another cheeky thing is defeat the Queen at the Town of Monsters. There are some pretty difficult bosses that you can get there.
Oh yeah, I if it's not one of the bosses that has a an abusable script or something of that line, I consider the Feymarch bosses to be pretty much on par with the Lunar bosses, so that will not be easy. We've gotten some pretty great gear already, though. A Dwarf Axe will let you back row glitch any of the main melee fighters. Bandana's not bad, little strength boost, and apparently a Blizzard Spirit was found. Got a pretty great divergence already. nightdew wanted to do a little more looting of Baron at the start. DarkKobold diving right in, already making a play for that Antlion nest.
And Antlion not having a whole lot of great items so far, but still good to go and check because a few good early game items can really make the seed go even quicker.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And this is a great boss to fight with the twins as well. There are a few things here that could be a problem, but for the most part it's very low physical attack. We have 2 base level child mages, so they don't want to be hit that hard. And again, that twin spell, whether you roll Slayer or Stardust, will do, or Comet, pardon me, will do great work here.
And as I've discovered recently, it doesn't always trigger some of the other scripts that bosses have.
True. The Ogopogo, the one that comes to my mind immediately. For some reason, it doesn't recognize it as direct spellcasting, so you don't get that annoying blaze counter when you hit it with a Twin Magic. Very nice.
And we see a Kydia on Mount Hobbs, another excellent caster, but Palom is the better of the two.
I mean, we could always accidentally find well, not accidentally, we could serendipitously run our way into a Bahamut summon, a Leviathan summon as one of these drops, and with Mylon and Gas and Antlion Cave, we're going to get a good look at this key item pretty quickly. A little bluff, a little twin spell. It was pretty clever use of the bluff right out the gate there. The twin magic power is based on the wisdom of the twin in the higher priority slot, which order in this game goes middle, top, middle, bottom, middle. So we'll be using Palom's spell power here, I believe, and that bluff should power it up just a hair.
And bluff, while not available in the original game, is a very, very helpful spell that can be turned on for this.
Absolutely, and we have a double boss kill, pretty much. Ruby is down, Palom has all the tier 2 spells on nightdew's side. DarkKobold, meanwhile, gets the Legend Sword. Well, the Kakul Shop will be unlocked if we get the Legend and the Adamant and turn them in. The weapon itself, not that thrilling. Does get you a little closer to 10 key items, and this is definitely looking like it'll be a mage strats team in the long run. I do kind of like seeing nightdew here opting to fade that required Antlion check. It's one of those things where you already have underground access, and if you delay until, for instance, Porom learns the exit spell, or you find them for sale, you'll save a few seconds not having to hike out of the cave. So, not a bad strat here, as long as you don't delay yourself getting some kind of really impressive, powerful item from the spot.
Well, a nightdew deciding to go straight down to the underground with this team, probably looking for sirens, a couple of sirens, and this team can take on anything the overworld can throw at them.
Yeah, pretty much. The only thing I would even be worried about would be Valvalis. But other than Val at certain root spots, yeah. 2 Sirens should get Rydia up to Virus, we'll get Palom up to Quake, just by fighting those yellow dragon eggs. The only question is, are these item shops going to cooperate? Guess we're about to find out.
Yep. And for those who haven't played the newest version of Free Enterprise, sirens are much rarer than they were in the earlier iteration.
Yeah, there's back in the later incarnations of 3rd edition, every item pretty much was guaranteed to appear in at least one shop. It was apparently intended for them to only have like a guaranteed appearance rate of like 80%, 70%, where you would find seeds without them. So 4.0 kind of put that back in there. Even though this S standard flag for the Swiss does let sirens be in any gated shop, they're not guaranteed to be in the seed. It's sufficient but not necessary.
And nightdew goes straight to validate his seed for the night with an educational therapist as our temp job dwarf.
We've had a lot of temp job dwarfs in the education field lately. They really should just start giving better tenure, in my opinion. That crystal armor, by the way, going to help with financing as well, but this item shop also coming up short. Just the Feymarch one to go if nightdew is hoping for that kind of solution to the level situation.
And nightdew not at all interested in that Odin summon. It has its utility, but it's a very one-off cape.
Yeah, even though we are playing with free, quote-unquote, free bosses enabled, it's a very low accuracy spell. It would only work on that particular set of bosses. If you try to use it for grinding, again, that low accuracy really comes into play. I think a better investment was probably those vampires that DarkKobold bought in Dwarf Castle. If you can't find a way to quickly get levels on your kids, those vampires have very nice magic attack power. Can easily sweep overworld fights.
And it looks like nightdew found an early rune ring, which is very, very nice, especially for this not so strong part.
And that flashed so quickly on the screen, I did not catch what was in the vanilla rat tail chest. Did you see it, Allie? Or maybe our tracker can say in chat? Oh, Luca
It was
key.
a Luca key.
As soon as they'll said Inven Grind online. Oh, and sirens are for sale there too. Okay, so we will not need to do cheeky door grind strats this seed. We have a very powerful means of getting these mages online in a hurry thanks to that Feymarch shop.
And no clapper grind either.
We have Val and oh god. Those are two bosses you don't want to see in the Feymarch. That is one of the Valvalus spots that gives her full magic immunity, I believe. I will go double check that before I go and lie to chat. Leviathan spot, yeah, she gets the full 255 magic defense while spinning there. She gets only one physical evade dodge, which isn't so shabby, but this team ain't gonna be punching anyone. And as far as Evil Wall at the Asura spot, that spot is super fast, it hits super hard, and yeah, looking like fights we're not gonna see done for a very long time this seed.
You definitely want to find a ribbon or something to get that instant death immunity.
Yeah, and being able to, if we saw illusions for sale, I think, somewhere, in which case illusions also provide a really good option, just to keep your team alive until it does get to the crush phase. Evil Wall script kind of cheats. Its attacks are all start a chain, move, punch, and once it does that, your ATB freezes. So it gets in a lot more attacks than you would against most enemies doing that same process. Luckily, the crush phase, you can usually win with Battle of Attrition. It slows down a little bit there. I'm surprised, though. Note the difference between what DarkKobold and nightdew are doing here. What do you think, Allie?
I think DarkKobold is going to go and do a quick grind, hopefully, and then start looking for more character. At least get the kid to quake, whereas nightdew is still doing some item shop checking.
This is one of those things where nightdew does a lot more playing in tournament season than he does throughout the rest of the year, so I'm uncertain just how much he's internalized the shop changes, he may be hoping to be able to find hourglasses or coffins for sale in the overworld, but I'm fairly certain on S standard both of those can only be in gated shops. So if that's what he's hoping to find, he will be coming up short in the overworld. And Kobold has taken down a yellow dragon, and look at the spells come rolling in. Just shy of Quake, but does have Virus, has Burst and Exit on Porum, and if he's willing to spend one more Siren here, he will have the Quack Kid fully operational. Very nice to see.
And on Nightdew's side, we did see a self-summon in Silvera. Did not pick one up, but it can lead to some cheeky strats at Dwarf Castle, as we saw last night in another race. Would you like to tell us about that?
Yeah, that was very fun to get to use. There was a glitch that we accidentally ran into during the Highway to the Zema Zone 2 tournament, where because some pointers in the game say Rydia, and some say the character you get at Dwarf Castle, well, you can use Rydia, if she's in your team, to set the character at Dwarf Castle's MP in a fight to whatever her current MP is. The Sylph Summon enables this, and that Odin Summon we saw earlier can also be used to that effect. Of course, that does require getting someone at Dwarf Castle who can take advantage of the MP. We could just run into, a Kane or a Yang, and then it wouldn't matter anyway. Our tracker, Jofus, asking in the chat, is it 4 bluff max? I always thought it was 2. It actually depends on your Palom's current wisdom stat. Each one gives him a buff to wisdom up until he hits the max. So if he's really young, well, really low leveled, you'll get more bluffs than you would if he's already, high level, rocking a Stardust Rod and a Rune Ring and a Sork Robe and all that stuff.
I think I learn something new every time I watch a seed.
Yeah, that's one of the things why a lot of us really love Free Enterprise, just how much it rewards knowledge. Yes, there is a good amount of execution in the game and in every fight, but every little thing that you can learn and add to your repertoire is going to increase your chances of winning bit by bit, which is so satisfying. Our Sheila 1 item, seeing that first, is the Adamant. So between Antlion Cave and Sheila 1, we do also have now access to the Kakol shop, if any of our racers want to go for that. Maybe that would be a good source of hourglasses or coffins, and bring the grind online in a different way than just bluffing up.
And we see a water hag attacking Fabul.
A free fight at this location, this time of year, localized entirely with... Okay, yeah, Water Hag, again, with the free bosses on, only going to take 3 of any kind of damage. As long as you do damage 3 times, Water Hag goes, argh, I'm dead. So, one you'd like to see in maybe a ruder spot, just to know that you can take it down with ease. But, this ain't shabby. Nice little sync here. Nightdew has done more shop checks, but hasn't done Antlion. Has Rydia, too. But DarkKobold has those levels. Gonna be interesting. Oh, there's our required Twin Harp. Seeds seeming to be pretty forgiving here. So we already have we already have access to 3 of our 5 objectives, and we're only 16 minutes in. Not bad.
Of course, there can always be something awful, like a Demist hiding at the end of Giant.
Oh yeah, Demist at the end of Giant with the with either that Sand Ruby or that hook. That would be cheeky. Yeah, and Ground Flyer with a very accurate point in chat. Evil Wall at the Asura spot is going to be the roughest of things for this team. I mean, the roughest of things for this party comp that we've seen so far. A thing that I would like to see that would make me a little happier for this team would be a Cecil maybe should have saved that crystal armor instead of selling it for the money. Crystal armor and cover strats can definitely help you out a lot that fight. And Blaze, our restreamer, with an excellent point in chat. The party's really bad at Twin Harp. That spot has 254 magic resistance unless it's like a minion type enemy. So these three, they're not known for their bobbage.
Especially if we don't have a heroine robe and some nice set of arrows.
Absolutely. We're about to see the difference in grinding before fighting this Ruby. As long as this Ice 2 goes off before the Glare does, yeah. DarkKobold is going to be making very short work here. On the flip side, though, nightdew does have a larger team and will probably clean up the Antlion Cave faster than Kobold did.
And has that exit spell, so no, he doesn't. It was Kobold that did his little grind.
Yeah, I'm surprised with how quickly nightdew rushed underground and being the first to find those sirens has opted not to capitalize on them yet. And yeah, chat curious about the hardware differences. I'm pretty sure that frames per second counter in the bottom right there indicates nightdew's probably on SNES 9X. And there are many different flash cards that let people play on OG hardware as well. So that would explain the visual differences, the crispness on one side versus that CRT-esque static on the other one.
And Kobold deciding he does not want the mage summon for his Rydia.
It's a cute little one, but when you have access to sirens, you can get her virus so quickly that it's not too great of a concern.
And giving us a look at our two Baron infights, we have Ashura to start.
Very nice boss to see in the first spot. She doesn't hurt your team except by counterattacks, and with only 400 HP, she probably won't be getting off a counterattack, especially with this mid to high 20s leveled twins. Dark Elf. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, we see Dark Elf in the second spot. Definitely abusable with this party.
Yeah, once Dark Elf transforms into the dragon form, it loses its boss bit. It can actually be stopped, can be weakened. Honestly, though, again, just with power overwhelming, probably not even a... We may have means to cheese this fight, but we also just have quack. Quack, quack, quack.
And a little bit of virus, too.
Oh, yeah. So going to be finally adding a bruiser to the team. Here comes Kane. Which, again, given that we're... ooh, and a white robe. Not a key item, but one of the best stat shirts in the game for a white mage. Just absurd physical and magical defense. And a big ol' plus 15 to the wisdom stat. nightdew, by the way, is going to turn in the Adamant and Legend Sword. Frees up 2 spots in your inventory, which can get very clogged when you're trying to finish building your team. And we'll get an Excalibur, and let's see what's in the shop.
And he decides to tease us first by selling off all his unnecessary gear.
Yeah, I'm wondering if maybe part of this was, I need to get rid of these 2 key items because I have too much junk. Ooh! Spicy, spicy store.
That's
Artemis
very
arrows,
loaded.
Life Staff, Murasame, and Zeus gauntlets. We need more money. We need more money, and we need it now. 10 sirens. You just take 2, sell the other 8, get your money back. Yeah, the arty arrows will definitely make eggs even easier to kill, but of course Quack, well, oh, 45 damage short on Kobold's side. But yeah, I think that's what nightdew was waiting for. A good, fast option to kill eggs, and Artemis arrows, quadruple damage, will do it. If you can find a bow.
Well, and those arty arrows will also come in very handy if either of our runners decide to grind on the moon against the gold dragon.
Oh yeah, fantastic foes to use those against. But right now, just holding the arrow and poking it, not going to do a lot of good. nightdew apparently heading to the dwarf castle weapon. Well, other way to the weapon shop. nightdew. There we go. Gungnir and lightsaber both for sale there. Very nice finds, especially since we do have a cane in play, but still no bow. where the bows, nightdew?
Maybe that's the seed's troll. You can get the best arrows, but you can't get a bow.
This is unfortunate for nightdew because this is just giving DarkKobold the chance to get mightier and mightier, just doing this through. The original thing with his first fight was a couple of bluffs and then a vampire after Palom cast the spell, and still no. Okay, this is just getting ridiculous at this point. Who hit Blaze? What did you do with all the bows this seed? But whew, having the kids, Rydia 28, the twins in the 30s, Kane very strong as well. There's still no bow. Allie, why are there no bows?
I don't know, but poor nightdew, he's determined to find one.
Well, so although DarkKobold is expanding this level advantage a bit, there is still so much space on the seed for divergence as we get further along. Hey, there's a great bow. Finally found one. So eventually, you know, that hook, that sand ruby, they can be behind 1,000 different places. But Kobold is definitely going to be capitalizing on this level advantage for a while.
And we are seeing our 4th fiend sighting of the seed.
Who knew that Mylon was actually the best dancer of the 4? Yeah, they didn't actually make sideways facing or upwards facing sprites for the other 3 fiends, so our little boring robed one is the only one who actually gets to shake his tail feathers.
And now that he's found his bow, nightdew is heading to do a little bit of an egg grind.
.832, yeah, the Great Bow's accuracy plus Form Strength isn't going to do too many favors, but by layering Stop here and then getting in attacks while the egg can't react, gonna be getting his team going here very soon. There's an egg down, here comes the XP pouring in. So this is going to send nightdew off to the races pretty much as well.
And DarkKobold has found an edge in this seed. With those 2 swords hanging out in the Kakol shop, he could get him online very quickly if he decides to check them.
You know, that is a good point. Kobold not headed that way yet, and honestly I'm wondering if he even will. Like, maybe if you want to throw the Excal, that would bait him into doing it. But with the team online as is, I would probably just try to take this and press that advantage. Oh yeah, and Jagan pointing out in the chat that we can use that Rydia Sylph or Odin trick to set Edge's MP total to hers. But yeah, this is probably not going to be a seed where you're really desperate for Edge to have an increased MP total.
Well, and I thought the meme was give Kane NP, not Edge.
We have a rat tail. Still no hook though. But already at 6 key items below the half an hour mark. Question now is, where do you go? We have Ordeals as an option. We have a team now that could probably handle Cave Magnus. We've got 2 good bruisers to deal with the magic defense in that spot. Kobold is looking like we're headed to music. Get those Freen harps out in chat. We have our first People's Champion of the night, although they're both going to have to do it.
Tell me, Inven, what is your favorite song on the Twin Harp?
You know, I have a lot of favorites, but to be honest, and okay, unpaid advertising. With the Castlevania Season 3 trailer dropping today, I'm gonna go with the version of Bloody Tears that Boardface added to the game for AGDQ 2019. It's just an amazing Twin Harp song, and I could just listen to it on repeat for probably a couple of hours.
I don't think I've heard that rendition. Let's hope we do hear it.
Remind me next time I stream and I'll pull it up for you. I have it saved just for re-listening to sometimes.
And nightdew now threw the Baron in and has his cane as well.
DarkKobold taking a quick hop over here, actually taking the safety save. Given, let's see, what can this cane even equip? We have a wind spear, there was a fire sword. We don't have really spectacular weapons for either cane or edge, so I can appreciate taking this one small bit of safety here. I don't appreciate those rune rings going unused though. Get those on. Frost, I think only nightdew looked at the Dwarf Castle weapon shop. I don't think Kobold did. That was while nightdew was scrambling for a bow. I don't think Kobold even peeked it. Though actually, the rune ring I don't think is metallic. Maybe we should have left the iron rings on, just for now. Now that I think about it. Accidentally giving bad advice. Oh yeah, speaking of trailers, the Final Fantasy VII Remake opener dropped today as well. That looked pretty cool too. Lots of great ideas for thematically appropriate Twin Harp music.
And Palom and Rydia's combined virus is unfortunately not enough to take the party down.
Dark Elf got us covered. Maybe lose a few seconds, nothing too bad. I'm trying to think, are there any good Valentine's Day themed Twin Harp songs you've heard that we could come up with tonight?
Maybe one of the love themes from the various games?
Well, let's see if we get one. I'm gonna go on mute. I want to listen to this. Enjoy the tunes for Enterprise. We'll be right back. And we did get some Cosmo Canyon music. Whether that's, I'm not sure if the technical title is the Brave Warrior or one of those, but beautiful song, and we get a pretty long fight here to enjoy it. Mom Bomb, of course, can be very hard to do the 10,000 extra damage to here, so we're probably going to get an explosion and some baby bombs to mop up. But I think baby bombs will not have magic defense here, and a touch of Quake or Virus should clean them right up.
And we've got both of our bruisers all berserked up.
Yeah, this fight will not be difficult just because of the sheer number of levels we've accrued. Nightdew, meanwhile, getting that edge. Nightdew has been to Kukul's shop, knows those Murasames are for sale. Question is, has he accrued the capital to pick up a couple? If so, his edge will be dishing out absurd damage compared to DarkKobold's.
And DarkKobold does get through that extra HP added and takes it down with no little bombs.
Wow, the power of double zerking action. Very nicely done, DarkKobold. Means our music does get cut off just a hair, but an objective is complete, and we have a Baron key.
And that is another 2 key items, potentially.
And I believe, did we see a red cloaked figure hand us our starting key item? So we know the first boss is Dark Imps, a relatively easy one. A touch of Quake will do very nicely there. Although, is there anything a touch of Quake doesn't do nicely against?
Probably CPU.
If you miss your coin flip, yeah, any floating monster, chat, I gotcha. Look, it was rhetorical, okay?
Unless you decide to bluff your Palom until he's at his max amount of bluffs and then open up on a Quake, that takes care of most.
Nightdew now has a similar choice. Is not heading south to Kukul's shop, so not going to be spending the cash money on swords just yet, and is following in the footsteps of DarkKobold. So, by virtue of not going for the eggs as early as possible, looks to be running maybe 3 to 4 minutes behind. But of course, Baron could end up having absolutely nothing, and if we go to the moon, well, it's anyone's game. And we've not seen that D-miss yet either, have we?
We have not seen a D-mist, and goodness knows where she's hiding tonight. I'm sure chat is hoping for the most awful, trolliest location, and it's holding something required for our seed.
Here are those Dark Imps, and here comes the Quake. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe we've also not seen a cursed ring yet, and no one is hesitating in gaining team levels, so we may be in a situation here where that could come into play as well. Meanwhile, oh my, a Gungnir Spear for DarkKobold in the little triple chest room. And we noticed that Nightdew got a full moon boomerang or chakram for his edge right before the Dark Elf fight as well. So each of our racers powering up their fighters in slightly different ways here. Well, enjoy the encore chat, but maybe it'll cheer us up from having this very easily found D-mist.
Well, and it looks like she's getting revenge on the King of Baron for burning down her village.
I love a good usurpation, a good usurping. I'm bad at conjugating usurp, okay? I admit it. Now, the real thing to worry about is, and this is something that's happened to me, if it's happened once, it's happened 1,000 times. You kill the D-Mist, you have your nice long walk, and you get an exciting key item, and you're like, oh, I should check the basement throne as well, and by the time you're done, you forget you even beat D-Mist until about an hour later.
And we have the best character show up, but DarkKobold did not take him.
Yeah, we have really good fast grind options available this seed in the form of those sirens. I'm unsurprised to see DarkKobold not eagerly planning for Zeromus Edward strats. Won't surprise me to see nightdew also get this kill. Nightdew is using that Blizzard Spear instead of, I believe it was a Wind Spear, and has a little more beef in edge. So, are we gonna get the exploding? Oh, nightdew does get the explosion. DarkKobold's extra levels saved a little extra time there as well.
And it looks like from the King of Baron, we did get a very exciting key item. We got our Darkness Crystal.
I wonder just how excited our racers are to see that, given that none of our objectives directly involve the moon. I wonder if there was maybe a little disappointment to go along with the, sometimes you can have too many options. That's what I'm hitting at here. The Baron guards are still living in their parents' basement. So, gonna be... There we go. Toad. DarkKobold is looking for spells that will neutralize their attacking and spellcasting potency here. If we just attack them or cast a damaging spell, we will get a size or a piggy counter respectively. But if you can land the Toad, that guard is out of commission.
Today I learned that they can be toaded. That would have been nice to know.
Oh yeah. If you can't Toad, you can also do a combination of Mute and Mini to neutralize them. But in this status, the only thing they can do is punch for 1 damage. This fight's wrapped up. But again, the time that we're investing in this, the excitement of the Darkness Crystal, don't forget your D-Mist, friends. nightdew just a few minutes behind. The really good news for nightdew is that this is the Darkness Crystal here at Baron, so the seed is wide open. Those 3 minutes aren't going to make nearly as big of a difference as where they go from here. So very, very easy to just take a different route and win outright at this point. Exactly. As Frost points out in chat, there's still Tower of Babel, Sealed Cave, both Feymarch fights, one of which is required. Everything on the moon is open, and then plus whatever this spot and D-Mist give us. Seed's wide open, folks. Allie, where would you go when you leave here? Or would you want to wait to see these 2 items before you make an executive decision?
I would probably head up to the moon, at least check my character. If it's somebody who I would much rather have over, say, a Porum or a Rydia.
That's true, we've not seen Fu yet, I believe. Pinktail here, increasing that key item count. That puts DarkKobold at 369. Ooh, now you're really hoping for a key item from D-Mist just to hit that 10 mark and start getting double XP. That would be very nice.
Well, and while we wouldn't get an adamant from the Pinktail, it could still give us a very nice treasure words.
Oh yeah, guaranteed to be a piece of tier 7 gear. Could find just any of the top tier weapons or stat sticks for our team. And if you're going to go turn in the rat tail, it's nearly no time at all to turn in the pink tail too. So if we get a hook, it will not surprise me to see these racers make that check. Although, oh wait, no, we still need the sand ruby. Okay, yeah. If we get the hook before the sand ruby, then 100% we're gonna see those rat tails being turned in. Okay, now DarkKobold, do you remember your Mist Dragon? DarkKobold remembers the Mist Dragon.
And finds a thrown weapon for his edge for his trouble.
Oh, Nightdew's the Mist has HP ran out. That's really fun to get when it's in Mist form, just to see the Mist form crumble. And yeah, Tower Key. So we're at the 10 key item mark. We have some really dense checks can make underground, but that moon also looms large in the sky.
Now, where would you go with the key items that we currently have?
I would think at this point, with the Siren situation, that I don't actually care all that much about getting a different mage. I would probably go right to that Tower of Babel and go ahead and get those two out of the way. Moon, I feel if you go Moon, you are relying on the fact that you or your opponent just get lucky. Whereas cleaning up tower here can be done very quickly and efficiently. You get really good XP from the top now that you're at 10 key items, and the fights are going to be super easy for this team.
And an added bonus, you also get to see what's waiting for you down when you do go to launch the Falcon.
Ooh, excellent point. Yeah, we get to peek that boss when we encounter the one upstairs here. And get an idea if it's someone who's going to be a little rude, someone you need to do extra preparation for. Maybe a lunar sparkle, so you have to be leery of a wyvern. Yeah, it's very good information to get here.
Now, at this point, what would be the rudest set of bosses guarding the Falcon?
Oh, well... yeah, sadly, we just have too many levels for Dark Knight Cecil at King Queen Evelyn to be that rude. I don't think anything at King Queen Evelyn's a problem, just because of the levels we have. The second one is probably Wyvern, because again, we don't have a setup right now. That it's a pretty fast spot. We don't have a setup where we have a cursed ring. We've not found one in a shop or in a chest. So that could be the thing that would trip you up one fight, and then you'd rearrange, adjust your battle speed, and then you'd be fine. But honestly, I just think this team's so strong, and the Sirens are so powerful, that it's a foot race to find that Sand Ruby and that book.
And we did see a very quick glimpse. This is the alt Gauntlet at the top of the tower, and Leviathan guarding the bottom of the tower.
Well, sadly, that means we will not be getting the 52,000 XP for a relatively quick boss fight here. Gonna have to sit through 5 rounds of alt Gauntlet with assorted foes from the lower Tower of Babel. Won't be hard, again, for this party. Like, very few bosses are going to be problematic here, but one cheeky thing I do like, nightdew did not go for the basement throne, and although we'll be down a key item accordingly, is back neck and neck with DarkKobold. Dodged a bullet, kind of. Pinktail does not gate any progression. Question is if that 10th key item is going to make a meaningful XP difference.
And for those who have not, perhaps have not played Free Enterprise before or have not played in a while, one of the new flags that we do have is the Alt Gauntlet, where instead of it being the 5 monsters you fight from Fabul, you get 5 enemies from the surrounding area.
And so it's really a fun flag just to bring enemies into the fold that we don't see a lot in regular gameplay. Like here, nightdew learning that these stone men have immense magical defense, very hard to land anything on them other than an Ice 3 or a nuke. The alert foes, we're all familiar with them because they are in our trapped chests here in Lower Babel. And as long as you can dish out about 1,600 with a single hit, nothing to worry about either.
I don't think there's any strat that uses this enemy.
It's called vegetarianism. Because they're tofu. Okay, look, I'm sorry. I should leave the terrible jokes to Baka. It could go for some hot and sour soup all of a sudden, though.
And these foes, usually seen in Luca Cave, when your trapdoor fight has gone sideways.
Oh, well, the upgraded version, actually. The green ones are manticores.
Oh.
So these are a little easier to deal with and not nearly the juicy amount of XP you get from the green version. And a power shirt up here. Very handy piece of gear for either of our front row bruisers, plus 15 strength. However, not quite what we're looking for. Tower could end up being busted here if we don't get something good out of the cannon room.
Well, and also, as Chad is pointing out, they did get less XP than they would have had any other boss, but
you know, if you wanted to, you could probably do a cheeky grind here with once you find one of these sirens giving a good enemy. You're like, yes, I would like to go ahead and fight 24 chimeras, please. That seems like a good number. And yeah, the XP there was nothing to scoff at, especially with the double XP, but that was considerably slower than a fight would have been with a single boss instead of the 5 rounds to barrel through. DarkKobold wisely turning down that battle speed upon seeing the Lunar Sparkle, but it's not Wyvern.
But definitely a boss you'd like to see in an easy spot.
Oh yeah, give me an Ogopogo with 600 HP over an Ogopogo with, yeah, pretty much anywhere else.
And nightdew, also done with his Gauntlet, gets his power shirt.
It looks like we may have had a freeze in our capture over on DarkKobold's screen. Our restreamer will do his best to get that sorted out if it's something on his end. If it doesn't come live, don't worry, chat. We'll keep following nightdew here. Racers are required to record locally in just such an event.
And if a good concussive maintenance could always take care of a good old NES that needs some bullying. Although that also does have the possibility of killing your computer. And nightdew almost forgot about that tower location as well.
It's like, oh yeah, I have a key. Hey, it looks like we have DarkKobold back just in time to see what the tower key item reward is. Artemis bow. So, you know, Artemis arrows in the Kakol shop. Artemis bow there. DarkKobold got a heroine robe from a trapped chest. Maybe we're gonna see a Battle Porum or Battle Rydia here?
Well, and DarkKobold won't have to go on the mad hunt for a bow to use with those arrows.
Looks like while we were getting our second capture up, we got some duplicated audio. I'm sure it'll be sorted out soon. Thanks for the heads up, chat. And DarkKobold now discovering just how beautiful the shop is. How much stuff do you have to sell? That's the question today. Oh, selling the heroine robe. I guess
That
we're not.
hurts.
I guess we're not seeing Battle Porum or Battle Rydia.
That also hurts.
Really wants one more Murasame here. Just a little less than 10,000 shy. Looks like we got another freeze though. Hopefully DarkKobold gets their capture sorted out soon. Meanwhile, nightdew here is going to feel a little behind, I would say. Of course, going through the entire tower and getting only 2 pieces of gear cannot feel good for either racer. I am kind of surprised neither one of them has gone moon though. I guess they both wanted to, they're both in the same mind frame here.
And nightdew does decide to check the Luca location down here. But you cannot use the siren to open the door.
Breaking and entering, setting the sirens off. Nightdew better run from the, yeah. DarkKobold, by the way, not going for the Luca key, thinking that with this newfound gear from the Kakol shop, can tackle, maybe go ahead and deal with this Mom Bomb fight? Or not Mom Bomb, Evil Wall, pardon me. If so, and if that is the hook or Sand Ruby, will be a big advantage to DarkKobold now. Required fight either way, but it's going to be hard without going ahead and grinding out to... I would not even do this fight until I was in like the 40s. This fight terrifies me.
I don't like Evil Wall in any spot, so I would be putting this off as long as possible.
We'll be able to tell by looking at Edge's swords as he swings if there is a double Murasame going on here. Would not surprise me. Please, Evil Wall, we would like a turn 2. Please? Dragoon Spear down in the sealed cave. nightdew deciding to walk it out though, feeling that this upgrade to Kane is worthwhile. A little surprised here. We do have a source of warp. Seeing a... okay.
Not that worthwhile.
Yeah. I'm guessing if there had been like a King Queen Evelyn or someone else relatively benign, nightdew would have kept it. And DarkKobold discovering just how rude that wall is. He fought the wall and the wall won. He fought the wall and the wall won. Dad is in the chat asking about the difference between Murasame and Masamune. Double Masamune is strictly better damage than 2 Murasames. You would only do the Murasames if for some reason you really needed edge casting spells, because they, specifically, the Murasame gives you penalties to agility and will, whereas the Masamune is just outright better damage and agility boosts. So minus 10 agility versus plus 6 agility, give me the plus 6 agility, please.
nightdew, still avoiding that moon, decides to give Ordeals a try.
with the team at this point, this is a very speedy check. Going to be tearing through all 3 of these bosses very quickly. And it can be a good meta play. You can think to yourself, well, you know, with the characters we've been offered, my opponent probably wouldn't see a lot of reason to come up here, and if I can clear it quickly, well, let's see if we can get something out of it. And also, after doing Tower and Silt Cave to no key item of Veil, I could see wanting to take the Hail Mary play here.
And nightdew does find one of our free bosses up here, not where you'd want to see them.
Opting to just quack them instead of letting their script play out. Definitely the faster option here. Yeah, chat, if you're curious, it's somewhere in the depths of the Free Enterprise Workshop server, but either Simbu or Swimmy made a chart, and it turns out that depending on your edge level, you may be better off with Ninja Swords or Murasames, just depending. Because how the stats fall. There's a hook! That's required! Ordeals out of nowhere. Oh, nightdew with the Galaxy Brain play coming up here. But where's that Sand Ruby gonna be? I got distracted, sorry. So the Ninja Murasame matchup varies depending on level, but 2 Masamunes is always the strongest option.
And this does very much help out nightdew. Because as you said, not a whole lot of reason to come up here. No Fu for bosses, no Tella for spells, and no Cecil to turn him into a pallet.
Absolutely. I mean, at this point, I guess odds are we'll probably find one of those 3 on the moon, but again, with this team, you don't really need it at this point. Hug is even a bigger bonus for nightdew, giving him his 10th key item, gonna be joining the double XP crew with Kobold. But we also have that rat tail to turn in. If that rat tail is the Sand Ruby, nightdew's about to have turned the tables and taken a commanding lead here, I think. Kobold is through and is the first one to complete that objective number 5. A Sand Ruby here does DarkKobold a world of good as long as he doesn't go to the moon before doing ordeals.
It is just a white spear. While definitely not what you would want to see, is a good piece of gear for Kate.
Oh, absolutely. The scene's actually been really generous with the gear for our melee characters. We've seen Full Moons, Shop having the very powerful Murasames, and then Cane Spears coming left and right. We've seen Gungnir's and Dragoon Spears and White Lances. This is usually, you know, you'll end up finding all the gear for the characters you don't have. Siege generous tonight. Oh, well then. Not a Sand Ruby, but...
At this point, do you take a Cecil?
I have 10 key items and Sirens and a Crystal Sword. I'd take a Cecil. If we run into Cecil here in the Evelyn Cave, or on the moon, either one, don't care. Crystal Sword is basically broken.
And with that Cecil, the evil wall does become significantly easier.
Oh yeah, whether you decide to just put him on DPS duty, or to let him just cover everyone else while wearing heavy armor, definitely makes a very nice, makes for a very nice setup against any evil wall fight.
I believe that is our 3rd rune ring of the night.
very handy piece of gear. Pretty good magic defense and resistance. Gives you defense against mage-type enemies. And gives you +3 to both wisdom and willpower, your spellcasting stats. You think you take a Rosa at this point, Allie?
I think with a life staff, a white shirt, and sirens, yes.
Yeah, the Siren would be the thing that would make me do it, just because with the Slingshot XP, her level will get to where Porum is after a couple of Sirens or after one gold dragon fight. I think I would make that swap as well, even with Porum being level 35 already. Unless I just wanted to be lazy when it comes to re-equipping my characters, which, when you're an hour into the seed, is a real concern. It's like, I don't want to sort through my inventory, just let's go. You know, we can also speak to the... Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say, I also always love seeing a ninja hat in racers' inventories. It's so easy to end up at the Zeromus fight and have someone who is just below that 28 agility threshold to, you know, kind of be a second best anchoring situation. And a ninja hat is just so good for that little +3, putting you right over the bump.
Well, and even just for any agility manipulation, definitely helps out.
DarkKobold making the Sealed Cave play, gonna find a little bit of disappointment. Dragon Spear is a great weapon, but Kobold's already rocking a White Lance. Not that meaningful of an upgrade. The two enemies who resist Holy you'd really care about it with are Octomammoth and Demus. We already fought one, and the other one won't be much of a problem for this team anyway.
And we do see a pain man.
So this is still a little bit of risky business here. This is cheeky, I like it. nightdew, having not quite grinded the levels that DarkKobold has, actually has to worry here with these dark waves coming out. 2 HP in a wipe. Oh, that's beautiful, Blaze. Well rolled. Well rolled. And just so chat knows, the range we're rocking with here, it will do a minimum of 522 damage and a maximum of 638 damage here. So, get those Cure 2s going fast and furiously here, nightdew.
One bright spot to DKC being in this spot is it doesn't give any experience, so you don't have to worry about your Rosa either getting too much or not enough.
Oh yeah, that's true. I wonder if nightdew will bother... I mean, she's getting auto-revive for the Leviathan fight, but I wonder if nightdew will elect to let her take a rest. The problem is that nightdew doesn't have a white mage anymore. Rosa's base level only has Cure 1, and we're about to fight a 25,000 HP Leviathan who does percentage damage and has some pretty rough Ice 2s. This may be a little trickier than nightdew bargained for. Good news for Kobold though. Going up ordeals before making Moonplay, gotta be rewarded with his hook as well. Rattail, we know, doesn't give progression. We can turn it in the pink tail end, get some good gear. But having already done Evil Wall, this puts Kobold right back in the thick of it.
It does look like it's going to come down to where on the moon this item is hiding.
Wouldn't it be great if it were at that Valvalus fight? At Leviathan, though?
That's evil and I love it.
Ooh, Edge hanging on by 27 HP. Lightning 3s and Lightning 2s doing work as well. Kobold is through the D-Lunars fight. We'll be getting all the upgrades to the characters we've not seen. And we'll probably be following nightdew soon here as well. And then that just leaves that Sand Ruby hunt. You know, we were used to crystal hunts back in the day. We're just exchanging it out for a lesser gemstone. The bed character was gone. Pizza?
And he is through the Leviathan fight. GG.
Breaking out the Indra summon to do that. That's something that we've not seen in a race in a while, I think. Going ahead and getting 18 levels on Rosa, bumping her up to 28. I think she's still going to be 5 levels behind the rest of the team, so we'll get one more slingshot opportunity, depending on, well, I mean, yeah, whatever the next fight is, Rosa should still be getting double XP, or double, thanks to those 10 key items.
And DarkKobold heading immediately to turn in his rat tail.
Yeah, and DarkKobold does still have that level advantage. nightdew caught up quite a little bit by not doing the Baron basement fight, but has yet to do the that evil wall fight too, and I don't think is rocking the ninja swords that Kobold is. Look, it's reflex action for a lot of us at this point. Dragoon Spear for the pink tail. DarkKobold has a wide array of cane weapons. Gungnir, Holy Lance, and Dragoon Spear as either good things to swing or good throw-in stars for edge. Take your pick.
And nightdew deciding he probably does have enough money to afford at least a few nice items.
Ooh, does have enough for at least one Murasame. Let's see what he gets up to here. I see 2 Dwarf Axes and an Earth Hammer. Please, you're not taking Sid at this point, you know it. Oh, so that was the Crystal Sword! Oh man, putting a nail in the Cecil coffin.
But does give him enough for 2 Murasames.
Absolutely. And you can throw some spears, Cooped. You can't throw the Blizzard Spear. I believe you can throw Gungnir, Dragoon, and White, all of them. Cecil Moon confirmed. Nah, nightdew is, at this point, very happy with the team. Going ahead and putting a few more of those Sirens into effect. I don't think he intends to swap anyone out at this point. Let's see, did he put the Zeus Gauntlet on edge as well? Ooh, not quite enough to kill an egg though. Again, that big problem with double Murasame is you are giving your edge -10 agility, which is very frequently going to reduce your multipliers. I mean, it's still good in the long run, but you can be a little lackluster at times.
Especially when it looks like nightdew is planning on his edge being his main DPS.
DarkKobold saying, no, my Porum's done good thing. She's loaded with all the stat sticks. We're not going to rearrange anything. Just going for speed over efficiency. But nightdew has the grind going on now. Will undoubtedly have an easier time with that evil wall fight. It's probably going to come down to whether one of them decides to that Valveless fight, or to or how they each route Moon. When you have to go Moon Alley, which path do you like to take on it? Do you go for value in Cave Bahamut and do top down? Do you go to like something weird like the Pale Dim spot first? What's your preferred moon route?
I always go to the Bahamut spot first, just because I know that most everyone else goes to the bottom of the moon, and any advantage I can get, I will take.
That is one of the really fun things that I'm liking about us doing our first 1v1 tournament like this. You get the opportunity to study your opponent, learn their habits, and then try to, you know, take advantage of those. And I'm looking forward to really seeing like two racers who both do that to each other, and so they just end up flipping their styles.
Well, and Rivers promised me there's always value in Cave Bahamut.
Oh, that was like 3 leagues ago. Rivers now is Rivers still on the value at ordeals? Or no, he's just anti-Fabul now, right? Well, anti-Fabul by going to ordeals first, I suppose.
And always take a Yang when you go to pick up your Sheila items.
That's the superstition. Kobold, by the way, getting through Pain Man without having to take a reset, so gains a few seconds on nightdew there. But nightdew definitely looking to have the better team to deal with Evil Wall. They're kind of just leapfrogging each other, and just it's kind of really fun to see. But if nightdew can get this Zerk off on edge and keep him from getting punched too hard by the wall, gonna be getting some really great damage numbers in here. Yeah, chat bring up the good point of how close this race is. DarkKobold has lower levels now, but at the time of the Leviathan fight, levels are, I believe, a bit higher than nightdew's were at the same point. So we're seeing the Lightning 3 off of Palom do really good work. Already had the swords for Edge, or at least one of them. We see, I believe that's a full moon in a Murasame. So
and
each
does
one is
have
doing.
A healer.
Excellent point as well. A meaningful source of curing other than the single target cure 2s. I mean, cure 2s are meaningful, but nightdew gets the blink up on edge. Should be able to tear through this 23,000 HP very quickly. That blink was a very, very well-timed spell coming out right before the wall bopped. And here we go. Both of them probably about to go to the moon. Nightdew could opt to do the Val fight or the Baron basement. But I think we're probably going to see like simultaneous well action in a moment.
We see him walking out. He may be going to go save and take on that Balbalus fight.
Well, and with this, nightdew has completed objective number 5. And DarkKobold has completed objective number 4. Each one just looking for number 2, the Sand Ruby at this point. Hopefully we'll get that tracker updated very soon. Oh, I love the flashing lights. I love it. So it comes down to this. A single Sand Ruby hunt. DarkKobold has a 1 boss advantage by having done the Baron basement. But abandon that Val, which nightdew is making a run at. We mentioned
this is.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
No, you.
This is not a spot that I would want to fight Balbalus at.
Well, the key thing about this spot will be to not break her spin. This spot has one of the highest physical attacks in the game, but she only gets 1 evade multiplier here, so Edge and Kane will both be able to swing through it. The main thing is going to be to try to get blinks and bursts up. Blink people who if you can get a blink on everyone, fantastic. If you can get a burst, notably on edge, you're going to be in pretty good shape here too. 35,000 HP to chew through, but at 3,000 a pop, shouldn't be too bad. But that is easy to say when your Rosa's still standing.
We do get to see who our Lunar Deist character is.
And Kobold not going for the value in the Bahamut stand. Looks to be running straight into the LST. The nice thing about not having, like, so for nightdew here, the mages can't contribute to anything other than being glorified chemists. Val can only kill one person per 2 actions of hers. So very easy for nightdew to win this battle by attrition. If you panic, you might have a bad time, but as long as you just keep calm, take your actions as they come up, very hard to lose this fight.
And we do have a vanilla Fusoya on the Lunar Deist.
I missed it. I was looking at the Val fight. Who did DarkKobold trade out, or did he?
Is Rydia.
Oh, okay. I can see that. She does have one of the slower XP curves in the game, maybe the slowest, in fact, so getting her to nuke is a little bit of a trial. Fu will come right out of the package with it, and yeah. But meanwhile, nightdew has cleared this Val fight, smooth 56,000 XP. But is there value? We're looking for a Sand Ruby.
That would have been nice for the evil wall fight.
Ribbon, like in fine Final Fantasy tradition, protects against most status effects, including instant death. Pretty good physical and magical defense as well, but not a Sand Ruby. So nightdew has only one option left on the blue planet. That would be Barren Basement, and if not there, is going to be going to the moon too.
And with his Rosa, does not know exit and does have to walk out of everywhere now.
Oh goodness, no Tella, no Porum, no Fu yet, no Cecil, and probably didn't buy exits, so it would not surprise me to see nightdew go top down on the moon, maybe go to Cave Bahamut first, because of that lack of it. Of course, if he checks the character spot first, then we know there's no issue. But whenever you don't have a source of exit, you start to get a little leery about going down to floor 7 of the LST. Nothing worse than going down there and then realizing when you're done that you've all the way back out.
And that is a long walk.
Overall, still a pretty fast seed. Our racers have pretty much full cleared the blue planet, including the hook path. We're only an hour 20 minutes in, only one item to go. Just the moon left. Well, of course, we could find a pan or an earth crystal. If you get an earth crystal, do you save and run away and hope to outplay your opponent, or do you stay on the moon and full clear it?
Oh, I absolutely run away. Moon's scary.
Pan especially. Pan I definitely would reset for. Earth Crystal? Ooh, Earth Crystal's a slow check.
We have an antlion here at the Lunar Dragon spot. Not a boss you really want to see on the moon, as he does hit like a truck.
Nice about getting food, though, is that we do have both 2 sources of Blink and 2 sources of Black Magic, so he can kind of pull double duty there a little bit. As long as you don't punch it, Antlion will only use physical attacks. And, did correctly guess nightdew's play here. Did not go for the Lunar Palace. Instead has run over here to Cave Bahamut first. Sees an Odin, which resets out of. Kind of funny to me. So cheeky thing about this spot is that the punches will hit very, very strongly. Bahamut tied with CPU for highest physical attack. But the actual Odin swing, I think, could be manageable for nightdew's team here.
Well, and may be looking to see what he can find in the shop here, see if it is something to help him, and does find hourglasses.
Ooh, hourglass is very nice for nightdew here, since he does still have a few sirens left. Makes those double gold dragon fights completely free. Huge XP on the horizon for nightdew if he wants it.
But does decide to tackle the lunar subterranean.
He'll be very happy to see this Fu here. Nightdew is a big Rydia fan, though. So I wonder if he's going to swap out for his Palom. Now to make a very difficult decision. Does let his Rydia go, betraying one of his faves, but given, again, the leveling curve, the gear that she currently had, I can't fault it from a gameplay decision, but I am going to pick on him about it.
Oh, the lunar subterranean is no place for a young girl.
It is very dangerous. Kobold, meanwhile, through the Antlion fight, gets up to Meteo, not quite to nuke levels yet on the kid, but very soon.
And does find an Earth Crystal.
And that makes things tricky, but not flying away to go check it. Gonna, I'm guessing, at least full clear at the bottom here. Hope to go ahead and find a pan and a pass before leaving the moon. Or, you know, just the sand ruby outright would be nice, I guess.
And one of the bosses you do not want to see on the moon.
Oh, but we have two different people who know Meteo. This is gonna be a... Oh, you're not testing Meteo with the Boo too? Oh. I was getting excited. Nightdew, meanwhile, is also down here. Made it to floor 7. Let's see what order he chooses to tackle these bosses in.
And looks like he is taking the same path as Kobold.
Going for this Antlion, it is the spot that one down here gives the most XP in a single leap, 100,000, 200,000 with his 10 key items, and has 2 chances at that Sand Ruby, so it makes a lot of sense.
And we see CPU immediately globe 999ing the Lunarian.
Hey, you know, fight's done. Fu doesn't need any more levels anyway. Very cleanly executed by DarkKobold.
And just finds some cutlery. Cutlery.
Hey, you know, we have an edge. There could be a rude boss down here that you want to do a cool quad 9 to. Now, I mean, it's not the Sand Ruby we want, but, you know, it's not shabby.
And it looks like we are going to be checking the Ogopogo spot.
Makes a lot of sense. After you walk back upstairs here, you can warp and save a ton of walking on floor 7. I can see this coming down to something absolutely ridiculous, such as maybe a racer gets the pan, gets the sand ruby from the first check, but then doesn't go to Sheila, and Sheila has the pass. Or Sheila has absolutely nothing, and the other one beats the other one back to the moon while the other one was in Fabul. This is so close, it can still come down to either racer. I wonder if, again, given how strong your team has been, we're nearly at the hour-and-a-half mark. You have to start thinking, am I going to skip annoying bosses here and hope to take the advantage that way? Or am I going to full clear every single spot? We do get more Meteos though. Quake would have probably done the job there, but why do that when you can have style?
And finds another sword for his edge.
So we found Gungnir, Dragoon Lance, White Lance, Murasame, Masamune. Like, this has just been impressively generous for the physical fighters we've had this seed. Best warp in the game, by the way, right there. Walking up to the Wyvern spot. Speaking of the devil, we've not seen Wyvern yet this seed, have we? Or was it one of the Waterfaller spot early in the game, and I overlooked it?
I don't even remember if our runners even checked either of those spots. But I can't remember what I did 5 minutes ago, so...
Yeah, chat. D-Mist was on the Baron Throne. She had usurped them for their rude invasion in the vanilla. Maga Sisters here. The punches will be more annoying than the spell casting. But even then, not so shabby.
Definitely a nicer place to find these bosses.
Yeah, you really love to see magic-based character monsters at the Wyvern spot, just because it has very low magic power to make up for its Mega Nuke, and it has really high physical attack, strangely enough, like so many magical-based spots in the game are. So, very nice fight to find here.
Well, that was a little bit of a stronger punch that time.
Takes them down before Cindy can get the revive off. A nice 130,000 XP. Gets us both Nuke and Holy on our twins. So with that, DarkKobold's team is ready to rock, without a doubt. Just needs a Sand Ruby, and that's a pan. Do you think you do the remaining 2 checks, or do you go ahead and... I mean, come on, we're flying away to check that pan, right? Right?
Moon's scary.
Drops a save. Very smart play here. If all the stuff on Earth comes up for naught, you can just reset instead of having to fly your well and have this nice little cutscene transition between the moon and the Earth. Yeah, leaving for Earth Crystal is the huge galaxy brain gamble that you make if you really feel like you made mistakes early in a seed and you need to swing for the fences. Leaving for Pan, though, leaving for Pan is definitely the right thing to do, I think.
Well, and with this many checks, you can also hope you're getting a pass and don't have to go through all of those cutscenes.
Oh, absolutely. Woobear in chat, slapping down that 17 of 17 free enterprise emote. Yes, we are guaranteed to have got to get all 17 key items at this point, at least for DarkKobold. The Sand Ruby is required to get the crystal, and the pass doesn't actually count as a key item. It's just on the tracker because it's a big deal. It's a real big deal. But anyway, bop the monk and you get...
Just an apple.
That's how they're helping him recover. A gold apple a day keeps the doctor away, right?
Well, and you can take that pan and fry them up.
Delicious. Kobold heading on over for the Sheila 2 check. I think we're going to see a very speedy reset if this ends up being something junky. The real tricky decision is going to be if there's a pass here. If there's a pass, I probably fly back to the moon with it in hand.
Now, at this point, do you go back to moon or do you do earth crystal?
Well, Kobold is resetting to make the moon checks. These are faster checks than the earth crystal, so makes a lot of sense to me. Looks to be headed down to the Murasame altar. Nightdew can save a lot of time here if he doesn't listen to the siren song of the pan meeting flesh.
Second best sound effect in the game.
Yeah, Gambit, we have 3 spots that we've not seen in the booth. Murasame altar, that's the Vanilla Pale Dim spot. Cave Bahamut, and the Tower of Zot via that Earth Crystal. We're down to 3 spots and 3 alone from our lofty perch here. And we know Odin is the fight in Cave Bahamut. What's here at this last spooky moon spot? Hey, Odin kicked me out of my house. I'm just standing here. Bahamut, of course, not that scary a fight. We have 2 sources of the spell wall, plus a stack of star veils. Kobold burning through them, though. Gotta hope you don't see a wyvern up in Tower of Zod. And Nightdew goes to chase the pan, just hanging on DarkKobold's heels, just a few minutes behind each step of the way since going moon.
Now, the big galaxy burning play would be to check that Earth crystal while he's down.
Oh yeah, like if Nightdew went straight to the Earth Crystal there, I would have fallen out of my chair. Bahamut is down. That's another 120,000 XP in DarkKobold's pockets. But what's the item? Yeah, don't hate that. Kobold will now not have to rewalk the moon. 1 spot left to check up here. Cave Bahamut, that Odin fight.
And at this point, who do you have as your anchor?
Honestly, with the levels we have and the gear we're rocking, I probably don't worry about it too much. That ninja hat can probably get Porum up to 28 agility, I would think. I'm not certain. I'd have to look at the stats, but with that ninja hat that we've had kicking around, I don't think it'll be too bad here. And again, just the team is so strong. You don't have to worry about it too terribly much. Alright, the last spot on the moon, if not here, we know it's up in Zod.
And Odin is hitting like a truck here. Fast and furious.
Ooh, but so is Porum, that 9,500 Holy Spell coming out. That white shirt and life staff doing good work. Better than Foo's nuke. Or pardon me, better than, I believe that was Alum's nuke. But that's the third hit. It will be queuing up the big Zantetsuken swing. But I think DarkKobold has more than enough damage to wrap this up here.
And does take him out before he can cast his spell.
So this will confirm everything. Is this our Sand Ruby, or is it through Earth Crystal? That is Sand Ruby. That is a go mode for DarkKobold. Only needs to turn that in. Whether he keeps the monk for an anchor, ditches him, doesn't matter. We'll get a crystal. And yeah, this is DarkKobold's race to lose at this point. Ahead of nightdew by a couple of bosses right now. And I would say I think the big advantage Kobold had this seed was not hesitating to kill a couple of eggs with sirens first thing. nightdew did a little bit of hunting to try to find a more efficient means of getting that first egg kill. Kobold didn't care. Any way I can kill that egg, I'm killing that egg right now. And from there, it kind of just snowballed. It was very close throughout the entire thing, but that was the key that really gave Kobold an early and pretty lasting advantage.
Very true. Suffered through those first couple of eggs, and then will likely take the win for it, depending on how his Z fight goes.
Ooh, and Wiggum's in chat pointing out, dipping Bahamut early was crushing now. Yeah, nightdew took the time to walk down Cave Bahamut, and even though he was in the 40s, did not want to take that Odin fight. I wonder if at this point he'll go there, or if he'll think, you know, I bailed on it earlier, I need to commit to it. We'll know by whether he goes to the control panel. Okay, he does go to the control panel, so he'll be close behind.
And we all know that a Z fight can get out of hand very quickly. So with this small of a advantage, if one of the runners takes her what?
Oh yeah, make no mistake, nightdew is not out of this, but the reins are in DarkKobold's hands for now. Battle speed down to 3, rearranging the team to put that lower level monk in the agility anchor spot. Very high levels on the rest of the crew, heading on into, well, the Troya Cafe. And you know, we've gone 17 of 17. You've waited so patiently, chat. Allie, I think it's about time for the most important part of any free enterprise seed.
I do believe it is. And as chat is already flying their Z flags, we ask the question, whose butt are we going to kick tonight?
All the freeing Z's, if you got them, chat. Count Zero, by the way, in chat, asking why Battle Speed 3. Yeah. Battle Speed 3, you don't get murdered by Relative Agility 1 promise. Rivers has actually done the frame timings on battle speeds, and if you are, if you have any hesitation at all in entering your commands, entering your menu, Battle Speed 3 is a pretty safe place to be. Battle Speed 2 is good, but if you're at Battle Speed 1, you're going to be losing some turn utility to Zeromus outpacing you. So it's just a minor safety that doesn't cost you too much time and adds a whole lot of security. There is nightdew Sand Ruby, probably kicking himself for not tackling this Odin fight sooner, but he is also in go mode, and again, one small slip up at this Zeromus fight, and the ball will be back in nightdew's court.
And tonight we have Metamus.
Yeah, that is yeah. He, in their cool remade body, of course, an enemy, quote unquote, is insofar as anyone is really your enemy in Undertale. But we are looking at 1900 HP on Porum with a life staff and a white robe. Fu and Palom both above 2000. That counter nuke landing on exactly who you wanted it to land on.
Looks like we're gonna have everybody throw spells tonight.
Yeah, looking to be going for full reflect strats here. If you do that, you only have to deal with Zeromus's base 61,000 HP. You don't have to do, between 45 and 61, have a refill and have to do a full 61 again. So effectively cuts the fight in half a little bit. Very useful strat when you have as mage-heavy a team as we have seen tonight. Throwing will activate the refill if you time it wrong. If it puts Zeromus above that 45,000 damage mark without getting killed, it will. So if you're going to be throwing in this fight, throw early. Don't do it once you've done a certain critical amount of damage. Nightdew did not, however, pick up that Yang, and thus is a little, in a little different situation with his agility anchoring. It looks like he's using an agility 22 Palom. Okay, cutting it down to an agility 20 Fu. Not the worst, not the best, but he is a little late here again, just a couple minutes behind. DarkKobold has taken the win. We'll get that official time posted for you shortly. Get your GGs out in chat. Very well executed start to finish by DarkKobold.
And we finish with Fu and with his hands in the air, like he just don't care.
And that is an official time of 1 hour, 43 minutes, 24 seconds. An amazing time, by the way. Going a full 17 of 17 key items, 18 if you count the pass. Going through both Magma Key and Hook Paths, just wonderfully executed by both racers, and Nightdew will not be far behind. In the meantime, I'm sure our restreamer will be seeing if DarkKobold would like an interview, and we'll keep you posted on that soon. For now, let's see how Nightdew dunks on this fight. Gonna be a little more awkward with the agility anchoring here, but shouldn't be too shabby.
And we did not see a wyvern in this seed.
Could be hiding in the Giant, could be up in the Tower of Zod, could have been in, again, if they didn't check that Vanilla Mist location, could be there. Plenty of spots where it could have been in Their King. I have been notified by our restreamer that DarkKobold is testing his mic, and if he can get it working, he'll be with us soon, chat. And yeah, there's always one boss missing from the pool, just because there is no fight at the vanilla water hag spot in Python. So one boss always gets to take the day off.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Hey, we can! GG's DarkKobold, well played! Beating the old hand and doing a good job of it.
Thank you so much. So what was the key?
Y'all were side by side. I think the big deal was that you very eagerly took an egg down as soon as you could, while Nightdew spent a little more time hunting for a quicker way to kill it. And, you went with speed over efficiency, and it sent you off to the races. Y'all leapfrogged each other a little bit, but I think that's really what got you started and what took things for you to the end.
So did he manage to kill that Vivalis at the King spot?
He did. He took the Val fight, you took the Baron guards at Odin. So each of you kind of swapped off one blue planet fight.
Oh man, that fight was just killer. I could not handle it.
Yeah, he had already done the hook by then and had grinded quite a bit and had higher levels, so it made that Val fight a lot easier. So I'd definitely say that if you're each going to do an extra fight, yours with the Baron Guards was the easier and safer and more lucrative option, getting that spear for your cane.
Yeah, that one really just had me panicking the entire time I was on the moon, wondering when I was going to see that not done because the Sand Ruby was sitting on Vivalis.
Oh yeah, always a panic. And nightdew actually did peek Cave Bahamut first before going into the Crystal Core, but didn't like the sight of that Odin, and would have made all the difference in the world. But Admiry played neck and neck the entire race. If you could have changed one thing you did that seed, what would you go back and do differently?
No, the pan check really was the toss-up. I mean, it didn't turn out. If it had turned out to be the Sand Ruby, it would have been a great time save. But just that check, or late game, when you know there's only a handful of checks left, and you're risking going all the way back to Earth to run through a bunch of stuff, that's always just pulse pounding, finding absolutely nothing for it.
Yeah, every check you make that's not that final thing, that pulse just gets louder and faster and louder and faster. Allie, any questions you have off the top of your head for DarkKobold?
No, I was just very, very impressed. Very much enjoyed watching you play.
Thank you.
Any final thoughts on tonight's seed, DarkKobold, or people you're hoping to get matched up with in the 1-0 bracket this coming week?
Oh, I'm quite scared. I feel like I got a little lucky here, so we'll see how next week goes.
Well, hey, GG's again, very well played. DarkKobold, y'all, definitely a racer to watch in this tournament. So make sure you hit those follow buttons. We do have Daphis linking the Twitches in chat. But right there, we do have nightdew wrapping up the fight as well. Metaton EX goes down, and we'll get the final time on that soon and see if nightdew wants an interview.
And it looks like he has a final time of 1 hour, 48 minutes, and 40 seconds.
Yeah, just neck and neck, so close the entire way. Just such a good race tonight. You will note that we do have that tournament scheduled there. There are many more races going on tonight and tomorrow. But in the meantime, I believe we are joined by nightdew. nightdew, GG.
Thank you very much.
Close match, wire to wire. You really should go back and rewatch that one. You're gonna be, like, if your heart wasn't already pounding, you'll probably have it happen on the rewatch.
I mean, I have a where do I begin list here, but yeah.
Well, hit us with it then. If you could go back and change something you did that seed, what would you do differently?
The first thing is I had no trust whatsoever in how long the stop spell would last. So I am running around. I found the sirens. I'm like, okay, we got some eggs. Now how do I scramble said eggs? And we just happened to get a like almost immediate rock and sword. So we opened up a Kukol shop, and I'm like, okay, well here's some arty arrows. And I spend like 5 minutes probably running around trying to find a shop, any shop with a bow.
Everyone in chat and here in the commentary, we were calling out Moonblaze Wolf for rolling that for y'all. It's like, Blaze, why did you hide the bows? Why are there no bows this seed? But yeah, that definitely did cost you a little bit of time. DarkKobold just went right in and trusted in the kids to get the job done. And early level advantage, but y'all went back and forth the entire seed. It was spectacular to watch. My other question is, you went to Cave Bahamut, which I understand why. You didn't have a source of exit at the time. But why didn't you tackle Odin then? Like, was there something about your team that you were really worried about? Or, like, why did you peace out on the Odin fight the first peak?
Well, I knew he hit hard, and I heard you ask the question to DarkKobold, you know, the one thing you do different. When I popped in, I had not examined the altar yet, so I did not know Fu was a thing on the altar. But I went ahead and scanned Rydia, who I still had at that time, spell list. I'm like, well, wait a minute. no lit 3. And I'm thinking, okay, I mean, this is going to be a damage race anyways, so I'm thinking what I should have done is just popped one of my 4 sirens I had remaining, especially after I found hourglasses in Hummingway Cave, and just picked it up and did that, and because I was sweating that lack of exit until I saw Fu. Had Fu not been on the altar, I might have backed back up into there, popped some sirens, did the grind that way, and just kind of hoped. But yeah, it was, I wanted the double lit 3 at least at that point, just because I knew I had an edge that was awesome, you know, double Mirasame, Zeus Gauntlets, was kind of hoping to afford another one for Kane at that point, but not so much. But I mean, that's pretty much where we were at there.
Sounds right. Correct me if I'm wrong, but in Zima Zone 1, weren't you in the Cave Bahamut division?
Don't remind me.
Okay. And
Yes.
Don't you frequently tell me that Iridia is one of your favorite characters?
And don't we also frequently tell you that there is value in Cave Bahamut?
Yeah. You betrayed yourself this time, nightdew.
Yes, I did. I will openly admit that.
But you still played the heck out of that seed. Really well done, start to finish. Anyone who gets matched with you in the 0 and 1 bracket should probably panic just a hair. We have a lot of great racers there, and you are undoubtedly one of them. So I'm sure you're going to swing back very fiercely in the next few weeks of Swiss.
Yeah, I felt great actually as soon as I finally got Quake Kid online, because then it's just, okay, like, you get a Quake, let's muscle through the blue planet with overwhelming power here, and yeah, and he just did a little faster, and hats off to him.
Well, GG's again. Any final thoughts on the seed?
No, I'm thinking, oh my god, I'm telling Venerable, like, before this, I'm like, I don't want a jet, and I'm looking at the objectives, and there is, like, no hunt that I'm thinking of except for a key item hunt. Like, those are fine, we do those all the time, and of course, it's, like, the last check, and I did hear you say, that we did trade off bosses. I did get Val, that's why I hit, like, eggs up to level 40, I wanted to one-stop shop the Feymark, and I'm up here on the moon, I'm thinking, I'm forgetting something, am I? And then it just pops in my head, I'm like, oh no, if it's on Odin, I'm done.
Well, still, it happens. You know, you get down to that one item. You've been playing second edition. You know what it's like to where you just need the crystal. That's basically what tonight's race was, so still, well played. Allie, any other questions for nightdew?
Nope. Just again, thank you so much for running. We thoroughly enjoyed.
Definitely, anytime. Glad to see you next round.
And
All right.
I'm slightly scared because I am 0 and 1, so
Well, just Cave Bahamut, Allie. You'll get nightdew. Just remember, value in the Bahamut stand.
yes.
All right, chat. We do have another race about to begin over on RPG Limit Break. Fantastic one coming up between Much Paranoia and Mecha Link. We're going to be sending y'all over there tonight. Reminder, give these racers follows. They both did an amazing job tonight. If you don't mind, follow us on the commentary team as well. Alice Hill, me and Venerable, our restreamer Moonblaze Wolf, and Jofus Manho on tracking. He's even doing double duty tonight, restreaming a later match. So everyone's working hard to bring you these matches. So spread a little love around. In the meantime, let's go cheer these racers on Limit Break.